To the inside, Ward, the outside, Ward passes, can he hold it? Yes! Johnson wobbles on the top of the tabletop.
I'm not sure Bale's going to have anything for him here. Bradshaw can taste blood. Bale is
for number one, the Knack-Knack Kid, Showtime, whatever you want to call him, Jeremy McGrath on his way to...
Once again, Rob, we saw an example of Demaria throwing the bike sideways in the air for the crowd. He really is enjoying himself out there. And look at Matasovic, almost careers off the side of Demaria's Yamaha, but he hangs on and stays there in second spot.
So these three closing up all the time. Bradshaw tries to take the wide slingshot round the outside. He's going to go for that inside line now on the whoops. Can he get past Matasovic? Bradshaw's on the inside and he loses control.
Oh,
and he takes Matasovic really into the sidewall there. And that is
right now, let's take a look at some of that qualifying action that took place earlier today. And speaking of action, watch this move coming up. That was Damon Bradshaw, rider number 8 on the white Yamaha. He was trying to launch number 20 and of course that green Kawasaki, Jeff Matasovic, into orbit, and he didn't do too bad a job. If you're Matasovic, you have to hate life at that point, but Bradshaw was able to open up a rather large lead.
Bradshaw keeps looking back over his shoulder. These two rookie kids had a tremendous battle last year in the 125 division. Now they're into the feature class. That's your 250 division, and it's their first meeting in the big leagues. And watch what happens right here. Bradshaw coming across the racetrack, tries to block Matasovic, crashes the motorcycle, which whacks Jeff on the side of the head.
California. Damon Bradshaw on the white Yamaha, number 8, is your leader. He was your leader. Jeff Matasovic with a good drive on the inside carried Bradshaw all the way up to the bales. In fact, almost through the bales. He tried to put Bradshaw into orbit, and Bradshaw, not playing any of that game, got on a break. But it was too late. The damage had already been done. Rider number 20, Jeff Matasovic, aboard that Kawasaki from La Habra Heights, California, had taken over the number 1 position. And that's the way they would like to keep it. However, Bradshaw has from time to time experienced problems. Earlier he talked about them.
Well, my biggest goal is to stay on 2 wheels a little more this year than I did last year, and I think that's just going to come from riding the 250. I ride a 250 a little smoother than I do a 125. And
always in the support class. Now it's just these two kids for the biggest prize in Supercross racing. I think the winner will be the guy who stays cool under pressure.
And talk about pressure, did you see that move that Bradshaw tried to put on Matasovic and how Matasovic countered it? Pass, obviously, and Bradshaw going everywhere he can, and look, there's the corner where they earlier almost collided. He does, Dave. He got the line out of that corner. He's got the drive. They're side by side. He'll have the inside going into this little camelback, and he did indeed make the pass.
This rivalry, I guess, was inevitable. In 1989, Matasovic was the Western Region 125 champion in Supercross. Bradshaw won the Eastern Regional title. They are on rival factory teams, and now they have at it here in the Silver Bowl in what would prove to be an evening-long and very exciting confrontation.
Actually, Dave, the rivalry goes back to the days of amateur Supercross. That's where they first started bumping heads. They have never stopped. Now, coming up, the confrontation that we're talking about, watch Matasovic. See him bobble just a little bit. That slowed him down, and when Bradshaw tried to get by on the inside, there was not enough room there. Matasovic was just kind of hogging the line.
You feel what happened right behind you? Yeah, I sort of slid out, and I think Damon was trying to go underneath me or something. He got caught up in my rear wheel and went down.
yeah, this little left-hander seems to be getting a little bit slick. How about the hoop section? Is that any bother to you at this point?
Yeah, the whole track's pretty slick. You got to really watch what you're doing out there. I think it's probably a little bit easier to follow someone and let them discover how fast you can go into something.
The Silver Bowl in Las Vegas is the battleground as Jeff Matasovic feels the heat from his old rival, Damon Bradshaw. Bradshaw rear-ended him when Matasovic made a mistake in the heat race. Now Matasovic is third, the last podium position, and Bradshaw is trying to catch him and pass him and hopefully preserve his championship point lead. Although really Bradshaw needs to not just deal with Matasevich. He needs to get up there and catch those Hondas.
Well, he does indeed, and Matasevich, of course, has the same thing in mind. He would like to pull off some kind of a pass on Stanton, but actually they're starting to lose ground. And oh, Bradshaw cut across the front of Matasevich, and Matasevich ran into him. Now, that was some kind of a pass attempt. Here it is again. Look at this. Bradshaw, I think his intention, Dave, was to do some kind of a block maneuver, and it looks to me like he may have lost control.